Hi all and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Dr. Jaskirat and today I will be teaching you to do these golden borders on your resin coasters as well as on your keychains. So please watch the video till the end and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Once again a very warm welcome to my YouTube channel. This video is completely on request since a lot of my workshop participants and my students requested me to shoot a video on how to do these nice golden borders for your resin coasters, nice golden edges. Not only your resin coasters, something that you can do for your keychains also. And if you want to write some initial like an A or R or something like that, then how do you go about it using golden color? So that's why this was a very requested video and here I am shooting it today. So all of these products that you're seeing here, these keychains, these coasters, as well as this coaster, this tray, all of these were made live during my workshops, my resin art workshops, while I was teaching my students how to do this. So now let's get started right away. So there are going to be two things that you would need mainly to get a nice golden border for your resin artworks. So you would be needing these two products to get a nice golden border for your resin artworks, and both of these products are very cheap, less than 500, and they last really long. When I say long, I mean you can use them for over 30 to 40 different artworks. So this is the first thing that we have here. This is the trademark floating golden powder by the DIY Lane, also known as MDF Supplies. So you can see how shiny it is. It's on my finger as well. So this is what it will be giving you, a nice golden color to your artworks. This will be one thing, so I will just keep it here. Apart from this, the second thing that we need is this mixing liquid, or it's called the binding solution from MDF Supplies. So this is completely waterproof. So this artwork that you have, this is waterproof. The golden lining is all completely waterproof. You can use this, you can create use this on a daily basis on your dining tables and everywhere, and this thing would not get chipped off, nor is it going to get worn off. And so I'll tell you how do we exactly use this, and we'll start one by one. So first thing that you are going to need is, you can go for a plastic cup, or if you have any other spare piece of plastic, like even this lid of the very same number 12 shade or the golden big powder, even this would work. But I would not advise you to make it dirty, so that's why I'm going to use a nice spare plastic cup, but I'm not going to use the inner part of it, I'm going to use the outer part of it. So I'm going to give a nice golden border to this keychain that I have, just like how I tried to do something here, but this is incomplete. I'll be completing this as well and giving a nice golden border to this keychain as well as these two coasters. So they were made completely during my resin art workshop, which was conducted online. So the ratio of the powder and the liquid that is used is very important. You need to use 4 parts of this liquid and 1 part of this water. Now this is something, it's a measurement that you need to do, and you can either take you can use a very good weighing machine which has a very good accuracy. You can either use that, or you can also go by your intuition. Both are completely fine. So first what I'm going to do is, I'm going to use this golden powder and I'm just taking 1 part of it here. So this is 1 part of it according to me, according to my purpose. And just remember that the liquid that you're going to take has got to be at least 4 parts of this. So I'm adding my powder here. The aim should be, according to the manufacturer's instructions, the aim should be that the liquid that you use, like the final paste that you make, it should be completely thick. So as you can see, I have already taken the golden powder in 1 proportion, so that's just 1 part of it. And similarly, now I need to take around 4 parts of this white liquid that I have here, and I'll be adding that. So it's more of an approximation based. You need to be not very precise about it, but you can definitely, if you have a weighing machine, it will be better, as you will be able to weigh each and everything. So as you can see, I have taken almost 1 part of the powder and 4 parts of this liquid that we have here. Please don't forget to shake these bottles before using them. And here's the bottle with me, and now I'll just, since I don't need more of it, I will cap it and keep it safely. Yes, that's it, there you go. So just start mixing the liquid and the powder together, and you will see a nice golden floating layer of gold starts forming as soon as you start mixing it with the liquid. And you will see that a nice golden layer of gold starts forming as soon as you start mixing your powder with the liquid. It should not be too fluid, it should be more of a thicker consistency, as if it is too fluid, you will not be able to apply it properly and it would not last longer. So try to keep it of a good, nice, relatively thick consistency, and then this is what we have. So if you would want at this stage, you can also go ahead and add a bit more powder if you feel so. If you feel it's not, relatively it's thinner, it is not that thick enough, feel free to add a little bit of powder, because we are all allowed to, tweak a little bit here and there while working with our paints. And this is what you have now. So as you can see, this looks really gorgeous. It looks like liquid gold. Thick layer of nice golden paint is what we have here, and it's quite thick and it's not very fluid as well. To be honest, I find this entire process of making this very, very therapeutic. I find it extremely therapeutic and extremely calming. So this is what we have here. Now I'll just keep this aside, and I will start by my keychain first to give you all a better idea. So I'll just keep my brush on a side first, and what I will do is that I will remove the jump rings from my keychain, so I have a better way to handle it. So here's my keychain, crystal clear, flawless. As you can see, the resin I used was, I guess, really good quality, and I had earlier done only a part of it, and now I'm going to work on it completely. I'm going to finish whatever I left behind earlier. So just putting my golden paint. So this goes by the name Midas Touch Combo, and you can buy this from their website, that is www.thediylane.com. So okay, the top part is done, and now I'll be working on the edges. As you can see, the edges are, it's a nice nice thick cast that I got. Have the edges here, so excuse me with all the traffic sounds on the background. I live in a very, very busy, hustling, bustling place. You just need to dab it a little bit here and there and leave it for some time to settle in. So this is completely compatible with resin. In fact, it is especially made for resin, and it's also safe for your hands. It's not a very epoxy based paint or something like that, so you can very well do it without gloves. And you do not need to wear a mouth mask or a respirator for this, as this is not an epoxy based system. So almost one part done. I'm going to hold it from the center now, and I'm going to gently rotate it all along. I'll just keep this aside for now and finish this one for you. And that's it. It's done. It has a nice golden edge all over its side, and it looks really nice to me. But now we should not be playing a lot with this. Let me just keep it at a safer place, which is far away from my reach, so that this dries up, and I will leave it for around 1 hour to dry, and I'll show you once the outcome is done. So I'll be keeping it aside, and meanwhile we can start working on our coasters. So this is the first coaster that I'll be working with, and I want to give it nice golden edges, as well as give a nice golden border all around. So I'll start with the border first. The gloss is so high that you can almost see my phone's camera in this one. So here you go. You need a nice thin tip brush, and starting it here on this side, just go along the edges and give it some time. This is utterly therapeutic to me, and if you are doing this along with me, I believe it is going to be very therapeutic for you too. Just with nice clean hands, give it a nice border. So if you see there are a few dots where the paint is probably not spreading, it's because I have a lot of porosities in those areas, and it is completely because when I was making these during my workshop, I was not aiming for something flawless. I wanted to explain a lot of things to my students, so I did not probably take an account of that. Otherwise, you should be very mindful of all these minor things while working with resin art if you're planning to sell your artworks. But this is absolutely not for sale. This was made during my workshops, and I'm planning to keep this one with me. So nicely just go on the edges. While you do it, think about your life. Take a deep breath in. Feel relaxed while you do it. And I think we are almost there. You can use a good thin tip brush for this, if you have a thicker one, and if you are aiming for thick borders, then you can go for that one as well. And here is it. It's done. But it's only done from the, I've only done the borders, so the edging part is yet to be done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a way to lift this one first, and okay, here I go. I got it. I'm going to lift it from the center so it is completely free and I can do the edges without any hassle. And starting with my edges now. So this paint is available not only in golden color, it's also available in silver and bronze. So if you're aiming for a different look for your artwork, you can go for those colors as well. Gold is my favorite color, that's why I chose this over anything else. Okay, I think we are all done here. So I did the border first because it becomes easier to hold it later on, and now I'm just working on my edges on one side, and I'll not do the edging part on the other side because for now I just want you to see how this is done. Make sure that you take all the appropriate precautions whenever you are working with resin, and if you have never worked with resin, make sure to learn from a good proper well-trained and expert artist so you know how to work with resin, because working with resin without any proper knowledge can have a lot of its own bad effects as well. So my top part is done. I think it's a bit deficient here, so I'll just add a dab. Yes, so this is done, and now I'll do the bottom part of it, which can be done while holding it. Make sure to leave it for a good amount of time to let it completely dry. Otherwise, if it is not dry and if you touch it or play with it, it's permanent paint. Please remember that if it gets stuck to resin, you will not be able to remove it unless and until you try chipping it off, which will also harm your artwork and also its beauty. So I would recommend you to work with it with a lot of attention, basically, so you do not cause any harm to your artwork and you get a nice finish. And once it is left for dry, give it a good time to dry, otherwise it could get smudged all over, and then those golden smudged marks would be like permanent. You will not be able to get rid of them. So it's done. The first coaster is done here. There are 2 porosities here, again because of probably I was not paying much attention to it, but on the other side it's completely crystal clear. So my one part of this is done, the top part is done, and here's the other part, and then there are these edges. So what do we do after this is done? What you can do is you can just find a nice cup. I have this cup with me and I'll be just placing this cup here, and I'll use the other part because it's shorter, it has a shorter diameter, and I'll be just placing my poster here for it to dry. So I'll leave it for around 2 hours. Okay, 1 hour is also fine, but I usually leave it for 2 hours because you can so the minimum amount is 1 hour. You can leave it for longer if you would want. I have this another keychain. I bet you cannot see the play buttons on this one, so I'll be showing you that now. It has a lot of porosities here, I believe. This was also made during one of my workshops. Gives more of a nice retro look to it. So this is done as well, and I will keep it on one side. and let it dry for some time. I have another one which I left the last time I was working on it. So you would also find a lot of videos of people doing it with some bold markers. So the thing with bold markers is those are not permanent on resin. Sooner or later they are going to fade away, or they are going to get all smudged, and that's why I would totally recommend you using the Midas touch on your artworks for a better finish. So here it is, and nice thin line. So this one's done as well. So I'm going to let this dry for some time, and meanwhile, as it dries, we can start working on another coaster that we have here. So I have another white coaster with me, and meanwhile, as this is drying, we can start working on this white coaster here. So as our other coasters are drying, I will start working on the white one here. Again using the same paint, and I will be starting with the top part first. Okay, I guess you cannot see it. And I'm just going to rotate it. So I get a lot of questions why I do not use any bold markers on my coasters, and why do I stick to this Midas touch paint. So the first and the most common answer that you would ask any other resin artist and they would give you is that bold markers are actually, they do not last for long. So if you are planning for client work, for example you want to gift it to someone, or you are making something on order, you do not want the person to come back to you later and tell you that, hey, this golden paint, it just keeps chipping off, it keeps coming off, these don't look aesthetic anymore, I'm having an issue with this. So for that I would always recommend you to go for this, as this is completely permanent. My golden borders are done on this one, and I'm going to find a way to lift this so I can start doing my edges. So my border is done, just needs to dry off some time, and now I will start with my edges. Again, it's very similar to how I did my edges for the blue one, the one that I had before this. It's relatively similar. And if you're living in India and you are not able to find a way to get the golden edges, then this is what you need. You can order it from the website and use my special discount code that I'll be mentioning in the description of this video. You can also reach out to me for my discount code on my Instagram account, which is at Dr. Jaskirat Jaskirat. So don't go by my speed, because I have been doing this for a couple of years now, so my speed with all this work is really, I'm quite fast. I did this coaster in less than 2 minutes, but do not fall for it, because I know many of you watching this video must be complete beginners and must be hard on you to do it in 2 minutes. So give it some time. It's a very, very therapeutic form of art, so give it the time that it needs. And I guess here it got smudged off by my finger, so I'm going to add some more till it's nice and thick, and that is what we have here. Okay, a few dabs there, a few dabs here, and now let's move to the back side of it. So here I really like this combination of white or cream color with gold. I mean, it's just so elegant and just so chic. That's why this is something that I recommend all of my beginner students to make while I teach, because it gives a really, really nice, beautiful effect. So the proportion that I took, it works for almost 4 coasters, a set of 4 coasters, and you can go by the same proportion when you start working with your artwork. So here is what I have. Okay, let me do this one. Okay, I think this is done. So I'm done with this part of my coaster as well. Now I'm going to just keep it aside and let it dry for a couple of hours before I show you the final outcome, and I show you how waterproof and how water resistant and waterproof and how workable functional these coasters are. So I think we're done, and I'll see you in the next part of this video in a while. Do watch this video till the end, so you know how waterproofing on these coasters works. Really love doing this. I can do this all day. I can just sit all day and just do the edging for these coasters. I find it extremely therapeutic. Okay, so we are done, and I'll see you on the other side. Meanwhile, let me show you what do we have here. So I have a couple of my artworks here. Let me place this coaster. But if you see, they are just completely drying. If you look at these, they are just drying for now. So I'm just going to give them some time so they can completely dry, and then I will get back to you. Since I have some time on my hands and some good amount of paint left, I'm going to do the golden edges for this one too. So I will just keep it aside and I will just show you. So what you see below is my resin ocean art tray, and it's a multi-purpose thing, so I use it very often for a lot of my videos and also for keeping stuff, for things like that. So I am doing the golden border for my keychain also.